Okay, so today we're getting into Greedfall, a very in-depth RPG by Spiders and Focus Home Interactive. This isn't the first title the two French developers have worked together on, so right off the bat, I expected a somewhat solid game. Greedfall really goes out of its way to remind you that you're playing an RPG, in the sense that there is no easy, autopiloted, or backseat approach to any situation going on in the game. You play the game as
Desarde, emissary of the Congregation of Merchants on Tirfredi. Desarde, legate of the Congregation. Desarde, legate of the Merchant Congregation.
Sir Desarde, legate of the Congregation of Merchants on Tirfredi, a name and title that will no doubt be comfortably stuck in your head after about 2 hours of playing the game. Your role comes with a heavy load of responsibility in that it's your job to weigh in on almost every political matter that arises, advising both the governors of your nation and the village leaders of the island natives. As far as I know, all the followers you can bring with you on your adventure are from different factions, so you will always have a second opinion on any big decisions you have to make, and sometimes you can defer to them to speak for you if you're dealing with people from the faction that they are a part of.
Whose side are you on in this war? Those that massacre our people? Escort, calm down. You know that Mother sent me to seek out allies.
Aside from all that, it also falls on you to find a cure for the Malachor, a curse-like plague that is ravaging your homeland. If you want to focus on one primary objective, be it politics or the Malachor, good luck with that. All main quests and side quests have a tendency to intertwine with each other at certain points, so your quests will no doubt always take you back and forth through different areas across the continent, whether you want to go or not. Something else to look forward to is that any annoying quests you can think of, like fetch quests, escort missions, or defend this point for this many minutes, are absent from this game. Even more so, any quest you accept will always snowball into a large battle or political scandal, so you, the player, always have something fun to look forward to. Now, about the combat. The general flow of combat feels good the way that it is, even if it can be a bit floaty at times. The thing that surprised me the most is that somehow the act of parrying enemy attacks is the one thing I can rely on the most, unlike a certain other game. Dodging can be tricky at times, not because of the enemy attacks, but because it has a tendency to fail me when I need it most, like during boss fights. For your protection, you can equip a hat, a necklace, chest armor, gloves, boots, and even a cape. And your cape will always add +1 charisma because only the most charismatic of people wear capes, as we all know. The most important pieces of armor are your chest armor, gloves, and boots, as they have upgrade slots which allow for additional stat bonuses and alternate appearances for your armor. Companion equipment can be changed as you see fit, but almost all armors require certain attributes to be certain levels in order to equip. Companion attributes level up on their own, but only when you yourself reach certain level thresholds. Your choice of weapons will differ depending how your skills and stats are allocated. At the start of the game, you choose between 3 paths: warrior, technical, or magic. As you level up, the game lets you freely add points to any skill you want, but skill reset items are very scarce. If you're having trouble getting yourself allocated, here are some quick rundowns of those classes. Magic users get magic rings as weapons, allowing you to sling spells quickly and at a distance, with a focus on the attributes of mental power and willpower. Technical skills basically make you a gunner, giving you gun damage upgrades and allowing you to set traps to control the battlefield, with a focus on the attributes of accuracy and agility. Warriors, of course, get to use all manner of melee weapons, whether they are one-handed or two-handed, but the one caveat to this is that the warrior tree splits swords and blunt weapons into 2 different skill lines. For warriors, the strength attribute would allow use of better blunt or heavy weapons, and the agility attribute would allow use of better swords. There is also the endurance attribute, which gives you more health and allows you to wear heavier armors. After skills and attributes come talents. Talents are more worldly skills, meaning that they can provide you with more dialogue choices, additional methods of completing quest objectives, or allowing you to traverse different geological obstacles. Some talents you definitely want depending on your focus skill lines. For example, the scientist talent could prove useful for technical characters, since your science level can allow you to mix potions, alchemical buffs for weapons, craft bombs to be used in your traps, or to blow a hole in a building if your lockpicking talent isn't high enough to open the door. Other talents include charisma, to make you more persuasive in dialogue and to get lower prices at stores, vigor, which lets you climb cliff faces, jump across gaps, or balance on thin walkways, Craftsmanship, which lets you make armor or weapon upgrades for yourself and eliminate the need for going to the blacksmith, and Intuition, which opens up more dialogue options and makes gathering materials out in the wild easier. As I said before, skill, attribute, or talent allocation is so free and unrestrained that you can be whatever the hell you want to be, whether that is constantly effective or effectively useless. Oh, and I completely forgot to mention 2 things about combat. If you're using a controller, you can bind certain actions to the directional pad for quick use, but I'm not sure what they bind to on keyboard and mouse. I bound my pistol, a healing spell, and a lantern right away, since those 3 things I happen to use quite a lot. The other thing is that there is a tactical pause. If you play Dragon Age Inquisition, you know what that is, but bear with me while I run over things for people that might not know. A tactical pause is exactly how it sounds. It lets you pause everything going on and gives you free reign of the immediate area of the game, letting you choose any attacks, potions, or any other action you might want to use at your leisure. It's mainly used to provide players with a more strategic approach to combat, but I never use it, hence the reason I forgot to mention it sooner. Anyway, that about covers it for Greedfall. It's definitely a worthy addition to my list of favorite RPGs, nestled right between Kingdoms of Amalur and Dragon Age. For a longer look at some gameplay of Greedfall, I did a 2-part gameplay feature this time around, so be sure to check that out. As always, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you want to see more. This has been Cygnus Jason with Gameside, signing off. Later.